Have you heard the rumors about the Yankees possibly looking into Luis Arraez? Like, what is your feeling about that? I mean, he's a low on base, high contact, good leadoff hitter, not much speed, average fielder. What do you feel about that?
Well, I think he's below average fielder, and it's a strange rumor mill when it comes to Arraez, because the guy, two people that I really, really respect in terms of breaking baseball news, are on complete opposite ends of the story. Our very own Jeff Passan said that the Yankees have engaged with the Padres about Luis Arraez. And then Andy Martino of SNY is saying that they have not had contact with the Padres about Arraez since probably November. Now, you ask me, how does it fit? I've gone over this a couple of days, and I'll do it again because we have different listeners every day. Yankees need a leadoff hitter. They do. Because if you look at this team right now, who is their leadoff hitter? There's no perfect leadoff hitter on the Yankees. So you could say Volpe. Volpe, I believe, his on-base percentage last year was .297. He had a great postseason. I think a lot of that flies under the radar. Volpe had a great postseason. Maybe he found something. But when he was leading off for the Yankees in the beginning of the year, it didn't work. I don't know if he put too much pressure on himself, and he doesn't get on base enough. So he's not perfect. Jazz Chisholm is probably their best option to be the leadoff hitter. But I don't want him leading off because I think he's going to hit 30 to 35 home runs, and I want in the middle of the lineup. And he doesn't have a high on-base percentage anyway. So of all the people on the Yankees, if you really want an outside-the-box thought, the guy who is an on-base machine and is profiled that way when he's healthy in the minors is Jason Dominguez. So they might put Dominguez at the top of the order. Maybe, just maybe. But in terms of Arraez, yes, he can lead off, doesn't walk a lot, but has a good batting average. He's won 3 batting titles. So even if you don't have a high on-base percentage, you hit .335, and you're on base .350, we'll take it. Not a blazer, doesn't steal bases, and he's a below-average defensive player. So do I see the positivism getting him? Yes. Now, one of the negatives, though, is this. You're trying to improve your defense. And for the most part, you have. Does Arraez at second base improve your defense? And it doesn't, because I don't think he's as good as Glaber. And Glaber's not a good defender. He had a terrible defensive year. And one other thing. You're trying to keep yourself under that last threshold salary-wise. Well, Glaber got $15 million for 1 year from the Tigers. Arraez just settled his arbitration with the Padres today. He makes $14 million. So you're not saving anything. And I believe the only way that the Yankees could get Arraez or get anybody of significance to play either third or second is they have to trade Marcus Stroman. Marcus Stroman is owed $18 million. I don't think any team is going to take on all 18. If the Yankees could get a team that would take on, 11 of the 18, I think they do that deal. And then they have probably, $7 million to play with or $11 million to play with. And they could probably get a decent player. One thing I will say, and I've said this over and over and over again, I do not believe that the Yankees are going into the season with DJ LeMahieu as a third baseman or Oswaldo Cabrera or Oswald Peraza. I just don't believe it. If it happens, it happens. But I've seen this act before. I've seen the movie play out before, and I'll go back to the same old guy. Bubba Crosby is going to be the Yankee center fielder all those many years ago. He was going to be the guy. He wasn't. They ended up signing Johnny Damon. I think they're just laying in the weeds right now, playing it cool, see what comes to them, see what the market does. I'd be surprised if they start. Because DJ's too injury-prone, and he hasn't played well in a couple of years. Let's go to Joe in Yonkers. Joe. Hello, Joe.
Congratulations on the show and everything.
Thank you, Joe.
I just want to talk about, want to talk about Luis Arraez a little bit. I understand everything you're saying about the defense, but one thing, if you trade that for Gleyber, I know you're not saving anything, but at least you're getting the 300. He's a left-handed bat, and he could, utilize the guy also a little bit, and just, get some little pieces until you get some homegrowns available.
Well, listen, Joe, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm just trying to illuminate both sides of it. You get a batting champion, you get a guy who can lead off, who will be on base for Judge and Bellinger and Goldschmidt and Wells and Jazz. I get it. I get that positive. And I guess there are no perfect players out there, but he's not a good defender. Not a good defender. I love what the Yankees have done this offseason. Obviously, their main plan was to keep Soto. It didn't happen. Soto signed with the Mets. But their pivot has been phenomenal. They might have actually improved their team. But there's still work to be done. There's a position that doesn't have a player in it yet. Either Chisholm's your second baseman and third base is open, or Chisholm's your third baseman and second base is open. Those roles are not filled yet. They're just not. Can Peraza be that guy? Can Oswaldo Cabrera be an everyday player? Can DJ LeMahieu find the magic again? It's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of ifs. Angelo on Long Island.
Yes, Michael. First time, long time, Michael.
Welcome aboard.
And I hope the show goes great, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike, I just want to ask you about DJ LeMahieu.
Okay.
Two-time batting champ, Gold Glover, second base. Why can't they give him another chance? I know he was hurt last year.
I think they will. They owe him a lot of money. They owe him $15 million a year for the next 2 years. And I think that if they don't make a move, they'll give him a chance. But when you say, why don't they give him a chance? Well, if they give him a chance and it doesn't work out, well, then you have a huge hole in your lineup. You try to get as many answers in the affirmative as you possibly can. You can't just roll the dice and say, well, let's see how it works with DJ. Hey, and that might be the way they go. Because I think the Yankees are good enough, and I think the American League is weak enough that the Yankees could let it play out to the trade deadline, and if they have to fill a hole at that time, they could fill a hole. Because their lineup is good enough and deep enough that you can absorb that. So maybe it is DJ LeMahieu. The Yankees are loath to eat contracts. And I don't think they want to eat the $30 million of DJ LeMahieu. So they want to get the best they can. Now, the best way to use DJ LeMahieu, in my opinion, is to play him at first to spell Goldschmidt. Play him at second to spell who's ever there. Play him at third to spell who's ever there. And he could still give him about 350, 400 at-bats. And he would be worth his weight in gold if he finds his hitting stroke again. But even when he hasn't been injured, he hasn't been all that good. And you wonder if Father Time has gotten to him. But yeah, I could definitely see them giving him a shot.